AI-native service companies. Here is the question YC is really asking. Can you build a services company where AI does the actual work? Not AI-assisted, where humans do the heavy lifting and AI polishes the edges. AI-native, where agents execute and humans supervise. The business model is services revenue with software margins. AitherOS makes this real through 3 pillars: workspace per client isolation so data never leaks, agent as service dispatch so 43 specialists are ready to deploy, and approval chains so humans stay in the loop without becoming the bottleneck. Let me show you how each piece works. The AI-native services model. Let me frame the shift. Traditional services companies hire people, train them, and bill for their hours. Cost scales linearly with headcount, knowledge walks out the door when someone quits, and quality varies across teams. AI-native flips this. Agents are the workers. Compute cost scales sublinearly because one agent deployment serves multiple clients. Institutional memory is permanent, it lives in the system, not in someone's head. Quality is consistent because agents are calibrated, not hired and hoped for. And client onboarding is a 5-step automated orchestration, not a weeks-long handoff process. This is the margin story YC wants to hear. Workspace per client model. The foundation is workspace per client isolation. Every client gets a dedicated workspace with their own agent deployments. Agents working on client A's project cannot access client B's data. Memory namespaces are scoped per workspace, preventing any data leakage between clients. Each workspace has its own API keys and MCP tool configuration. Billing attribution is independent. ACTA tracks token consumption per workspace. Tenant isolation extends to secrets, events, storage, cache, and even LLM routing. Effort caps are set per tenant plan. This is not just database-level isolation. It is architecture-level isolation enforced at every layer of the stack. Agent as service dispatch. Think of this as a staffing agency where the staff are AI agents. 7 service verticals, each mapped to specialized agent teams. Content creation pairs Scribe for generation with Lyra for creative direction. Autonomous writing with editorial approval gates. Code development uses Demiurge and the Swarm coding engine, which runs 8 parallel agents in a 4-phase pipeline. Security audits go to Athena with automated scanning and human escalation for critical findings. Market research combines Atlas for data gathering with Iris for analysis. Support operations pair Atlas with Business Pilot for triage and escalation. Documentation is Scribe and Hero with auto-refresh cycles. And performance is Apollo's domain profiling, bottleneck identification, and actionable recommendations. Each service type is a deployable configuration, not a custom build. Approval and governance chains. Here is where human oversight meets AI autonomy. The approval model is severity-based and entirely configurable per workspace. Critical actions deploying code to production, modifying security configurations trigger a 30-minute timeout. If no human approves within that window, the engine pauses and escalates to an administration. It does not proceed without permission. High severity gets a 2-hour window with retry or human escalation. Medium severity gets 24 hours with a skip this cycle default. And low severity auto-approves after 72 hours, just logging the action. The key insight: this lets agents work autonomously on routine tasks while keeping humans in the loop for anything consequential. Some clients want tighter controls, others want more autonomy. The model adapts to each workspace. Full audit trail. Every agent action flows through a complete audit trail, and I mean every action. Chronicle records each step with timestamp, agent identity, context, and result. Strata stores all artifacts and outputs with full provenance: who generated it, from what input, using which model. Credential chain passports provide append-only audit stamps that trace the full request lifecycle from client request through agent dispatch through tool execution through result delivery. Clients can see exactly what was done, when, by which agent, with what permissions. This is not an optional compliance feature you toggle on. It is architectural. Every service in AitherOS emits audit events because Chronicle is Layer 0 infrastructure. You cannot use the platform without generating an audit trail. Tenant isolation architecture. Tenant isolation is enforced by tenant context across every system layer, and this is worth understanding because it is not the typical approach. Database isolation uses DB per tenant with a tenant/slug prefix, not a tenant_ID column, separate databases. Secrets are scoped to a tenant namespace so one tenant cannot access another's credentials. Fluxbus events use channel prefixes so events from one tenant never reach another's subscribers. Strata storage paths are prefixed per tenant. Cache keys use composite prefixes combining tenant, workspace, and project. And LLM routing respects effort caps set by the tenant's plan tier. The platform tenant is the only one with empty prefixes, it sees everything. The public tenant is a shared namespace for unauthenticated traffic that cannot read into any user tenant. This is real isolation, not row-level filtering. Caller context, trust boundaries. Caller context provides trust boundary enforcement, and this is how we know what each caller is allowed to do. 5 caller types: platform for internal system calls with full access, tenant for workspace scoped callers, public for authenticated external callers, demo for demonstration access, and anonymous for unauthenticated traffic. Each caller context carries 5 permission flags controlling what actions are allowed. The Veil frontend sends an X-caller type header, and Genesis builds the caller context from it. Public and demo callers are automatically routed to the public tenant with Explorer-level quotas. 3 pipeline gates check the caller at every step: Chat Engine gates agentic and generation features, Agent Forge gates dispatch, and Action Executor gates mutations. A non-caller defaults to platform for backward compatibility. All internal calls get full access without changes. Registration Orchestrator. The Registration Orchestrator handles new client onboarding in 5 steps with compensating actions, and this is important because partially provisioned workspaces are a real problem. Step 1 creates the tenant record in the database. Step 2 provisions the workspace secrets namespace in AitherSecrets. Step 3 initializes Fluxbus event channels for the new tenant. Step 4 sets up billing attribution in ACTA, the plan tier, token allocation, effort caps. Step 5 deploys default agent configurations for the workspace. If any step fails, compensating actions roll back the previous steps. If billing setup fails, the secrets namespace is cleaned up, the event channels are removed, and the tenant record is deleted. No zombie workspaces. The file is liborchestration registration orchestrator.py. Evidence table. Let me lay out the evidence. Workspace isolation is implemented in libcore aithertenant.py with full namespace enforcement across 6 dimensions. Caller context is in libcore callercontext.py with 5 caller types and permission flags. 7 business automation engines exist in services business partially wired, but the architecture is there. The credential chain passport system is built in libsecurity aithercredentialchain.py with append-only audit stamps. Workspace CRUD is handled by the Genesis router in apps AitherGenesis Reuters workspace.py. Per workspace billing runs through ACTA with token deduction per tenant. The registration orchestrator handles the 5-step sign-up flow with compensating rollback actions. Gap analysis. 4 gaps, and I want to be honest about each one. High priority. There is no client-facing portal UI yet. All the back-end APIs for workspace management, billing, and agent dispatch exist and work, but the Veil front-end pages for non-technical clients have not been built. That is the biggest gap. Medium, approval chain delivery is incomplete. The escalation model is designed and Fluxbus events fire correctly, but the last-mile delivery via email and relay messaging needs wiring. Low, agent utilization analytics are not exposed to clients. The telemetry data exists in Chronicle and Strata, but there is no client-facing dashboard. Medium, there is no white label option. The platform branding is Aitherium specific, and enterprise clients may want their own branding. None of these are architectural problems. They are UI and integration work. AI native services. Summary. Here is the takeaway. AitherOS enables AI native service delivery. Workspace per client isolation ensures data stays separate at the architecture level. Agent as Service Dispatch puts 43 specialized agents to work across content, code, security, research, support, and documentation. Approval chains keep humans in the loop for consequential decisions without bottlenecking routine work. Full audit trails make every action transparent and accountable. And compute-backed pricing gives services-level margins because the labor force is agents, not humans. 80% alignment with YC's AI native services category. The main gaps are UI level. The backend capabilities exist, the client-facing experience needs polish.